Haha, the time has come again. I went to Amazon and I bought some cheap filmmaking gear, and I'm gonna test it out and I'm gonna let you know if it's a gem or if it's straight garbage. Now, I was pleasantly surprised by some of these products, but one of these might low-key be my biggest disappointment in my filmmaking career. Let's get into it. Now let's start this video off with this skater dolly. Now I'm gonna keep it 100. Every time I go to Amazon to do these sorts of videos where I'm buying cheap filmmaking gear, I see these all the time, but I never really buy them because I think like, how good could this really be? Like, the performance of this skater dolly is heavily dependent on whatever surface you put it on. If the surface is bumpy, the footage is also gonna be bumpy, right? Because it's essentially just a platform with some skateboard wheels on it. And that's really all it is. You got a platform, skateboard wheels. On the bottom of it, you do have an adjustment for you to adjust the direction that the wheels are going. So if you wanna do some crescent shots, you wanna do some half circle shots, you wanna do a full revolving shot with this thing, you can actually do it. Has some 1/4 threads on the top of it so you can mount different things to it. And this is really what you get with it. You don't get that ball head, you get this magic arm. Throw this in the trash. These is not good for anything but monitors and maybe a GoPro, but a camera on this is not the wave. Get you a ball head. On the back of the skate dolly, you have this extended handle, so you ain't gotta be on the ground to actually push this thing. And honestly, this footage really surprised me. Now, if you didn't notice, the footage was really smooth. I had to stabilize it. And I'm not one of them people who was against stabilizing stuff. I'll throw stabilizer on my gimbal footage if it's not as smooth as I want it to be. And honestly, going into shooting with this thing, I was expecting to have to stabilize this footage anyways. The surface is not perfectly smooth. There's gonna be some cracks in the cement. There's gonna be some rocks that this thing is rolling over. But this thing gets it so good out of the gate that stabilizing is honestly never really a problem with this. But as long as you're on a smooth surface, this footage is actually dope. And the perspective is so freaking unique because it's like really low key on the ground. Like, this is a super low shot. If you've ever used the gimbal and you tried to get these down low angles like this, you know this kills your back. And this is one of the reasons why I was low key considering actually using this. Like, I could see this being really useful in some future projects. Maybe I got an artist on the stairs and we're getting a performance for a music video and I want to get that down low angle shooting up at him. That would be really dope. I mean, the cement might be an issue, but as long as I have a smooth surface with me, this thing could be a viable option. I could definitely see this being super useful for some creators who are just getting into this, who don't necessarily have money to purchase a gimbal or a slider. You can buy this, bring some plexiglass or a piece of plastic with you, and you can really use this anywhere. You could be out in the middle of a field with a plastic plexiglass surface, getting some really smooth shots from this of like an artist laying on the ground performing or something like that. Like, I can see this being so useful in so many use cases. This right here is like a thumbs up for me. Price is solid, the results you can get from it are also solid. This right here surprised me. This ain't bad. I also forgot to mention that I'm gonna be giving away everything that I'm showcasing in this video as well. All you have to do to be entered to win is drop this video a like and also drop a comment below, including your Instagram @. I'll reach out to you via DM, grab your address, and get one of these things sent out to you if you win, so good luck. Now, if you know me, you know I love car mounts. In the last episode or the last edition of the cheap filmmaking gear videos, check it out if you haven't already. I got a car mount in that video as well. And I actually love that one as well. Like, that one was the epitome of simplicity. It had 2 suction cups on it, which means that attaching the camera and attaching that to a car was like almost instantaneous. A lot easier than my actual car mount that I use. I think this one is a little bit better. One of the reasons why I think that is because it has 3 suction cups, which is an extra point of contact, and the legs on it and the way that you can adjust them give you an additional amount of height when you're using this car mount. This is really good when it comes to car mount shots because if you want to get it higher off the car, you can do that. You want to get it lower, more profile on the car, you can do that. I just think this one is just an overall better build. So in the box, the car mount comes in a couple different pieces. It's really easy to put together, and it also comes with a ball head included as well. So you don't have to get anything additional with this. The process of attaching it to a car is pretty simple. Basically just like any other car mount out there, stick the suction cups to the car, get it on a smooth, flat surface, and you good to go. We attached it to the car a couple different ways. We got a really clean, cool shot off the side of the car, which is one of my favorite. This perspective is so cool to me, and I can see this being used in a bunch of different really cool ways for music videos. If you want to like speed this up and hyperlapse through a city, that could be really dope. I also really like this perspective on the car because the reflection from the car makes the shot feel like it has like perfect symmetry. This is actually a really dope shot. We mounted the car to the center of the hood, got a really wide shot of the windshield with me in the beginning, which is also a really dope perspective. We mounted the camera to the sunroof, got some really dope perspective there as well. And then we also mounted the car to the passenger side window and got those shots of me driving. Nothing bad to say about this car mount. I love it. If you don't have one, I probably recommend this one right here a little bit more than the one that I did in the previous video, but make sure you check that video out after you finish watching this one because we got some more, interesting stuff. Now, the next thing is the disappointment. When it comes to me and my filmmaking process, wheels are a really big part of that process. All of my stands, or pretty much all of my stands, have wheels on them because it makes the process of moving a light to another location inside of a set so easy. You just throw your sandbag on it, make sure you pick up your wires, roll it over to wherever you need it to go, you good. I just like wheels. But the thing about the stands that I have is that they are massive. And it's nothing wrong with that, but sometimes you just want a smaller, easier to use stand. I got these small Amazon stands that I use for like running gun stuff, and I figured this could be an alternative to that. So the stand came in, popped it out of the box, had a couple different pieces that were not assembled. And I'm looking at it like, okay, this looks solid. Like this still looks small despite it not even being assembled. The light stand had a cool base with a pin locking system. You basically pop that up and then the legs fold out. You attach the wheels to the base of the legs, and then you attach the post into the base with the wheels on it. And then you got your light stand. I'm looking at it like, yo, this is lightweight. This folds up on its own. The wheels are smooth. This is actually a solid stand. Rolling it around. And then I go to the base and I went to extend the post that the light is supposed to mount onto. And to my surprise, this light stand was literally shorter than my 3-year-old son. Like, yo, this was so disappointing to me, man, because I'm loving everything about this light stand and it's like 2 feet tall. And I'm like, who is using this? What could you use this for? Like, what is the use for this? I just didn't understand. I just don't understand it even to this day. I mean, I guess if your talent is like sitting on the ground, you could attach a light to it and get a shot that way. It did have a little spigot attachment at the top of it so you can mount the camera to it, I guess. I don't know. This is a L. Don't buy this. I don't think that this is the one. Now, these next 2 things are not a package, but I think that they work like cohesively. And I think if you buy both of these things together, you'll be really happy with it. Even if you buy them separate, you'll be really happy with these things. The first thing is this top handle by Small Rig. Now, for a while, I'll be honest, I was a little against top handles that attached via hot shoe because I didn't really know how secure that connection was or if it was gonna damage the hot shoe. But I've had this thing in for about 1.5 months and I've been using it faithfully on my R6. Great connection, great additional grip to the camera. Like shooting with the top handle is 100% better than not shooting with a top handle. The shots come out way smoother. This top handle is dope, has a bunch of different connections on it. It has a RA attachment at the end of it so you can attach a monitor to it. Like, this is a really fire, I would say, top handle. I like it a lot. But top handles are top handles. If you've never had one, highly recommend you get one. They do great when it comes to handheld shooting. It's an additional point of contact with the camera. It's like one of those no-brainer attachments. The second thing that I feel just pairs with this so well is this V-Lock plate, also by Small Rig. And this thing right here, I might actually start using this on my C70. It allows you to attach a V-Lock battery or V-mount battery to your camera and build out a small rig. No pun intended. It allows you to build a small rig without having all the additional stuff that you might not need. For me, like, I don't really need rails the majority of the time. This thing allows me to get a V-Lock battery on the back of the camera without having all this additional stuff. This thing comes with a quick release plate. Basically, you just attach that to the camera and then you attach the battery to the plate and you instantly have a system with a V-mount battery on the back of your camera. If you want to run D-tap out, you can do that. You want to run DC out, you can do that. It just allows you to make a really small rig and be able to get in and out of it really fast because it has that quick release system. So the setup right here is the R6 with the Small Rig top handle and the V-mount plate on the back of it. This V-mount plate is really good because I feel like they already thought about all the potential problems. It has an unlocking mechanism on the back that allows you to slide the V-mount battery forward and backwards. So if you need to pull out your screen, you can do that. You can also fold the V-mount battery down. So if you need to adjust any of the buttons on the back of your camera or adjust your screen, you can do that really fast and simple. I like it. It's a really simple solution, and it allows you to distribute the weight in a rig and make a really small rig really fast, which is really dope. Now, the obvious advantage of having a V-mount battery on your camera is you can use it to power things. I didn't really need the power delivery for the R6, but I was using it to power the monitor that I had attached to the R6. And for me, one of the huge benefits of having a V-mount battery on the back of the camera is that it gives you additional weight. So your handheld shooting just tends to be a lot smoother, and it just tends to look a lot better. I like the system a lot. These two together is like a win, a game changer. If you don't have a top handle, definitely get one. If you don't need a V-mount, then obviously this wouldn't make sense, but I like it. I think I'm gonna use my C70 with it just because I like the way it distributes the weight. Now, the next thing, you've actually been seeing it throughout this entire video. It's this rotating turntable that I've been using to showcase all the products in a really cool stylistic way. Now, this is the intended use case for a product like this. You wanna get smooth B-roll for a commercial or like even a YouTube video like this. You just put your product on it, it spins, it's really smooth. It's great. It's like one of those no-brainer products, but this one actually supports up to 220 pounds. So I wanted to take it out and see if we could use it in like a music video-esque scenario. We mounted up a really cool light overhead, and I wanted to like basically sit there and let it spin me and see if we could get some cool B-roll. But to my knowledge, this thing doesn't spin fast. This is like my first time using it. This was before I filmed all the B-roll for the YouTube video. I was just assuming that it could spin a little bit faster. So it's really not that effective in this scenario because you can't even really tell that I'm not moving because it's not moving fast enough. But it does support the weight. I don't know, maybe you can use it in a cool stylistic way if you want to like stitch together somebody spinning around and like speed ramp it. That could be really cool. It works. It's not the best, but I could definitely see it being used in a creative way. This thing comes with a remote. The remote allows you to do all the adjustments for the rotations. If you wanted to go in a full circle or semicircle or reverse, all that good stuff like that, you do it with the remote. And this thing's solid. It just works, spins the product. I have nothing bad to say about this. This is like an obvious win-win. You do commercials for products, it's gonna be great. YouTube videos, you can get really cool B-roll of products. It's like one of those no-brainer products. Thumbs up, definitely. Links to all the products that I talked about in today's video are in the description below. If you wanna buy some of this stuff, make sure you use my link because it supports the channel. If you're looking for some other really good cheap filmmaking gear, make sure you guys check out this video right here. There's some gems in this video as well. Let me know down in the comment section what was your favorite product. Drop this video a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. But with that being said, I'm out, y'all. Peace.